people having jobs? What's live on welfare? What's taking money from the people that pay taxes into their government? This is why channels like MSNBC and CNN fell in the fake news business. They fell big time. It's the same thing over and over and over again with these people. Don't get me started on Joe Scarborough. I don't watch him anymore. I remember, I thought this was going to be a good show when I was a young man when the cable first came on. He first came on after he resigned from the Senate. But this show is a bunch of buffoons. Anti-America. Anti-America. Every one of these MSNBC people are anti-America. This is what's wrong with society. We reward people for doing nothing. People who work hard, trying to make a difference in society, they don't get awarded at all. They get bashed. They get thrown to the wolves. It's the same thing in society every day. It's sad. I wish there was good stories to report on. I wish I can come on here and tell you everything's all right. There are good things going on in this country. Our news programs we don't want to bring it. Your news channels don't want to bring anything good to society. If Donald Trump does something good, they don't want to hear it. It's like CNN says he's fulfilling his promises, and they're not cheering for America. They're not cheering for America. It's like I said, I'm going to do some studying. I guarantee you, I'm going to look on some of these backgrounds and try to do some studying on some of these news networks. Really, if you look at the news networks today, it's changed. When I was a kid, it was ABC, NBC, and CBS. Then the cable age came out. CNN, Fox, MSNBC. Now you got into the more newer age. You got Breitbart, Newsmax, Drudge, InfoWars. Now, talking about InfoWars, this is a thing I might have to discuss in the future too. YouTube censoring people like InfoWars. You don't have to believe nothing people say. You can disbelieve anything. That's your right. But Google, Facebook, all these people, all they want to do is censor libertarian, conservative talk. Now, if you're conservative and you're a libertarian, you believe in freedom of speech, you believe in pursuit of happiness, the right to bear arms, you're not welcome no more. These organizations don't care for what these people stand for. I don't know how many times you can go look on YouTube, look up videos from certain organizations, and they get harassed. Roger Stone gets harassed. Alex Jones gets harassed. Conservatives get harassed. And I'm telling you, I'm getting down to the point where I'm going to start making some podcasts. I'm going to look up for some things. But YouTube is not, the you and YouTube does not exist no more. The you and YouTube does not exist no more. I'm sorry. I'm tired of groups of people that are whining. They get more press coverage. And they hate America. The Hate America crowd is shutting down the voices of freedom. Shutting voices down of freedom. A lot of companies don't want people to have their rights. Now, they claim they'll believe in your rights. Now, every company that does stuff like this, yes, they do believe in your rights. But if you go on attacking what their sources are, then you're in trouble. This is why I think starting in next year, which is not that long around the corner, the CP3 show, we are going to take a look into some of these big, moderate news companies like CNN and MSNBC first. We'll take a look into Fox, a lot of this stuff. People on an attack. There's only a very few people out there in the news media right now that really are doing their job. Alex Jones does his job. Roger Stone does his job. Tucker Carlson does his job. Laura Ingraham does her job. But people, they're on attack. America is under attack for years by a group of people, the globalists, who don't want the word to get out about what's going on. I see it every day where I read in sports, especially here in Ohio. I'm going to tell you something, Ohioans. Now, I know everybody, if you're an Ohio fan, you love the Ohio State Buckeyes. I'm getting tired of all these Cleveland Brown fans, Cincinnati Bengal fans, especially the Cleveland Brown fans. They haven't had a winner in a long time. I'm getting tired of when people bring up names of people that the Browns might hire. Everybody wants Peyton Manning in management because he's from Tennessee. There were some rumors, and I don't know how true these rumors are. There were some rumors, we're going to say they're rumors, that they want to hire Jim Harbaugh. Now, Jim Harbaugh comes up north. He went to the University of Michigan. I'm getting tired of all these Browns fans saying they don't want nobody from Michigan. Now, I can actually take a look, and I've done this lots of times in my lifetime. The players the Browns drafted from Ohio State. Very few of them have never been successful on any team. Now, Tom Cousineau went to Ohio State. Nothing. Tom Cousineau was a lousy player. Where did he play? Ohio State. Where did he go? To the Cleveland Browns. This is why when I hear all these Buckeye fans crying about people that went to Michigan, we don't want people from Michigan. This is why the Browns don't draft people out of Ohio State. The number one reason why? Tom Cousineau. That's why. Brian Robesky, no good. Another Buckeye we drafted. The Buckeye that was a great player that never got a chance to play in the Browns uniform, though we picked up at the tail end of his career when we picked him up, when we became an expansion team, was Chris Spillman. He's probably one of the only few I remember that wore Buckeyes uniform and actually was a great defensive player and was a great player in the NFL. Now, this other guy we had here at wide receiver last year went to Washington. He's a lousy player too. I don't want to hear it no more. I just don't want to hear it no more. These players that we drafted out of Ohio State, or we had that went to Ohio State, these players were lousy. All of them. I don't care what position they play, defensive, offensively. Terrell Pryor, the last one, terrible. We picked up a guy from the 49ers. Didn't last very long, went to Ohio State. Lousy. I don't want to hear it no more. I don't want to hear anything about getting mad because somebody wants to hire somebody who went to the University of Michigan. Don't want to hear it no more. I don't. You know why? This is getting old. All the people we ever drafted out of the state of Ohio went to Ohio State, lousy. Terrible, lousy. And I'm not saying there hasn't been great players that came out of Ohio State, because there has. There's been a lot of good players that played on a team that came from Ohio. The best player that the Browns have drafted since they came back in '99, he went to a Big Ten school. He didn't go to Ohio State. Joe Thomas probably won't play again. Went to Wisconsin. Okay? I don't want to hear that. There's reasons why the Browns don't draft people out of Ohio State, because they see these people every week, in out on TV, because that's all we get here. We don't know nothing about players out of Michigan. We don't know nothing about players at Penn State, Michigan State, Wisconsin, Indiana, Northwestern, Purdue, Iowa. This is why you don't draft players out of Ohio State. They lost to a team like Iowa. When was the last time Iowa had a good football team? I don't know. But let me tell you something. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm tired of all this crying about why the Browns don't draft people out of Ohio State. I don't want to hear it no more. They don't draft people because the Browns in the first place don't know how to draft anybody in the first place. And most of the players they did draft out of Ohio State became lousy. Yeah. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm tired of this. This is the same old thing over and over again. We got more important things. I love sports, but I'm telling you, when it comes to the NFL and it comes drafting players out of Ohio State, you just don't draft them out of Ohio State. You don't do it. I've had friends that told me that for years. I don't care what team out of Ohio, Cincinnati or Cleveland, they should stay away from Ohio State players. He said you'd be better to draft people out of the MAC U. You'd be better to draft players out of Akron U, Toledo, Bowling Green, Miami of Ohio, Ohio U. You always get bust everywhere. But fortunately for the poor Cleveland Browns, they get a lot of bust out of Ohio State. And they do. And I know people got left with a bad taste in their mouth because of Edwards, a talking head. I don't care what anybody says. He's just a talking head. He doesn't care about winning. He doesn't care if the kids get an education. He don't give a rat's petunia. I'm sorry. I remember I enjoyed watching the Buckeyes when I was a kid. When they had the Chris Spillmans, they had the Chris Carters, they had the Michael Aneses, they had the Mike Tomzaks of the world, the Keith Byers. I think some of them guys made it in the NFL and played a good long career. They weren't superstars, but some of them do a lot better than some of the guys that I know that's came out of there for the last 10 or 20 years. I guarantee you that. And I'm telling you, until some of these people look because